Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you haven't been here before, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't been here before. So I'm standing here in front of you today without any makeup. I just kind of brushed my hair and brushed my teeth. It's been a while. I've been away for a while. December is usually a time where I take a little bit of a break from YouTube because there is so much stuff happening, and especially with work and outside of work. I usually take a break from December, but then somehow that also got into November and I was gone for 2 months. So I've decided that whenever I have time and I have energy to film, I am going to film. To save time, I decided not to do my face today because I don't have a lot of time. I'm just gonna come here on camera and talk about my final update for my project pen of 2023. I feel like my project pen in 2023 was a journey, but a very good one, especially compared to the other project pens that I've done. I feel like I have had a lot of progress on a lot of products. I have emptied a lot of products. I have hit pen on a lot of products. So today I kind of want to show you the process that we've done for the past year, the progress that we've done for the past year, and kind of reflecting on what I want to change for this year, 2024. The first thing that I want to say is I want to go back to my first ever project pen update, or like introduction of 2023, and the products that we started with back in January. So the first one is the Honest Beauty Matte Primer. Now this is a product, unfortunately, that I have not, it's one of the only products I think that I have not really used for the past year. I think I used it about 5 or 6 times, and it wasn't as approachable as I thought it was going to be because this is a matte primer and I have a dry skin type, and those two just don't really combine well. So for now, I'm gonna see if this is still, like, if it is not past the expiration date, and if it is, I am going to throw this away because then I don't feel safe using this on my skin. If it isn't, I'm gonna keep it and see what I'm gonna do with this one, maybe mix it in with a different product. But for now, that's kind of the first disappointing update of this project pen finale. Yeah, I kind of wanted to say that. It's a product I still have and not really used. All of the other products though that come after this one is Chef's Kiss. So the next product was the Essence Milky Face Moisturizer. I did empty that one. I thought it was okay. I have found things that moisturize my skin a little bit better, but that one is also empty. I remember it, but I don't remember it being anything that was too significant or had an amazing formula. So I think if you're getting into the world of moisturizers, it's probably a nice thing to have and a nice and safe way to be introduced to moisturizers, and also a very affordable way of being introduced to moisturizers. But for me personally, I didn't really necessarily like it all that much. Then the next two products were foundations back in January. Throughout the last year, I have emptied my Nabla Skin Realist Tinted Balm and also the Essence Hydro Hero Tinted Moisturizer, 24-hour tinted moisturizer. I did empty both of those. I think the Nabla Skin Tint was an amazing one to kind of mix in with other foundations or tinted moisturizers. It was quite glowy, but the shade was not always my shade. It was very yellow, but I did like it in the end, and I did find it very easy to use because I was mixing it in with other products and it was like a good mixing product. You know, looking back, is it something that I would repurchase? No, but I'm very happy that I emptied it. But I don't have it here with me anymore. I think you saw it in my empties video, as well as the Essence Hydro Hero Tinted Moisturizer. That one is also empty. From what I remember, it was okay-ish, but again, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But again, it was a very nice product to mix in with the Nabla one, with the Fenty Ease Drop Skin Tint that I'm gonna talk about later. It was just a very nice mixing product that I enjoyed using. But I'm happy it's empty because that means that there are 2 tinted moisturizers out of my makeup collection, and I was kind of piling up on the foundations and tinted moisturizer, so I'm very happy that those 2 are empty and gone. So far we have 3 empties already, and now I want to talk about some pens that I did. So back in January, I introduced you to the Nabla Two Reasons blush duo, and I actually have it here in my collection. I'm just gonna turn around and grab it. And this is a product that I did use for quite a while. Like I said in every single update, I did focus on the blush and not the kind of Vaseline thing that's in here. I don't really like that one. This is a blush that I use on my lips and on my cheeks. I thought it is kind of meant for that as well, for cheeks and lips, it says. I remember doing my initial review of this and not liking it, but it was in my collection and I did kind of like the color, even though it looks different in the pen. And I thought, you know what, at the beginning of January, I'm gonna pick this up, we're gonna put it in my project pen, and we're gonna try and use this as much as I can. And I was very happy. It was a journey for sure to pen this. It is going back in my collection because obviously it's not empty and it is still usable. So I want to continue using this, but ever since I penned it, I've just kind of been focusing on some other projects. The next product is also a pen. It's also a product that I introduced in January at the beginning of 2023, and it's the Catrice Holiday Skin Luminous Bronzer. If you watched my project pen updates, you know that this one is also penned. This was such a long journey, and I don't remember when I penned it. I will put it on the screen, but this was so satisfying when I finally emptied or penned it. Not empty, it's not nearly empty. At first, it was a formula that I didn't really like because of the color, the consistency, and then also like the smell of the bronzer was very off-putting. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's a scent in here that I just don't like at all. And also my skin is quite sensitive to scents and smells, so I had to be a little bit careful. But then I started using it more and more, and I found that I was not disliking it as much as I thought I would have, because it was blending out really nicely. I was getting used to the color on my face. I was finding ways to balance that color with my foundations and with my blushes. And then it became a very easy product to use. And I was also using this in the crease on my eyes just to have like an everyday eyeshadow thing. And I did that for days and days and months on end. And finally I penned this product. So this is another pen in my project pen yearly update. And I'm very happy to talk to you about. Now, when it comes to my project pen this year, there were a couple of products that I used in my collection that I introduced to my project pen because they were already quite old and I wanted to use them up before it was too late. But unfortunately for one of those products, it was too late by the second half, or like the first half of 2023. And that one was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow in Perla. Never liked the formula to begin with. I thought it was too metallic. It was too reminiscent of the bad side of 2016 makeup, 2018 makeup, I should say. Overall, I really did not like that product, and I was also not using it in my everyday makeup routine when I was using those other products. By the time that I picked it up to use it, I discovered that it was like breaking out my skin when I used it, and it was smelling bad. And unfortunately, that is a product that I could not rescue before I finished it up, which I'm very sad about because obviously it's something that I spent my money on, and then you want to empty it to make sure that you get your money's worth. But with that one, that was just unfortunately not the case. Next up, I want to talk about eyeshadows, because eyeshadows I feel are for a lot of people a very reached for product when it comes to a project pen. I feel like a lot of products that are being penned are eyeshadow palettes just because they are powders and we have too many of them after the makeup craze that we had in recent years. And I wanted to use a palette that was very everyday friendly, that was very interchangeable with other palettes. So I went for a neutral palette, and that palette was my ABH Soft Glam palette. So this is a palette and this is what the inside looks like. I've been using this for a year. You know, usually this was like the base layer of my eyeshadows, and then I used another palette to use some color, use some shimmers, but this was always the base that I used. And I'm very happy to say that we had a couple of pens in this palette this year, which is amazing. And I also want to give a sneak peek to my project pen of 2024 because this palette is going to be in there again. It's a very good everyday palette that you can use every single day, that you can use for special occasions, that you can use when you want to have fun with makeup. So it's just a very well-rounded palette for every single occasion. And because there are still some shades in here that are not penned, I kind of want to take this with me to this year 2024 in my project pen. So when you're gonna watch my project pen 2024 video, I have not filmed that one yet because I don't know what I'm gonna pick, but this one is gonna be in there. Now for the number of pens that I did, I have to see, but because I'm not sure yet, but I think we had probably like 4 or 5 pens with this palette, so that's great. And that is the eyeshadow palette. Then I also have some single eyeshadows in my makeup collection, and one of them was picked out for my project pen last year, so 2023. And very early on in the year, I did pen this, and then I kind of shoved it to the side because I was focusing on the Soft Glam palette. I don't know what it's completely gone, but it's the Essence eyeshadow single in the shade 14 Flirting. And as you can see, it is also penned. The packaging broke, and every single time in my makeup collection it kind of comes loose and it scratches, so the eyeshadow looks like garbage right now. But this is a product that I really like using. Again, it was a very nice neutral for in the crease. It kind of looks very reminiscent of my bronzer, so I just kind of put this in the crease. But the thing with this is that it's very powdery, so I went through it quite quickly because of that. But yeah, it's gonna go back into my makeup collection, and I'm gonna focus back on the palette and maybe some other singles that I have. Now, lips, as always, is the most difficult thing for me in a project pen. Last year, I think we focused, like 2022, back in 2022, we focused on the ABH Kiss lipstick. That one is still in my makeup collection, not moving. I find lipsticks in my makeup collection very difficult because I almost never wear them anymore. And I also am not very much of a reapplier of mixed lipstick, especially not when I'm at work. But it's very difficult, and again, in this year's project pen, it proved to me again that it is very difficult because I have not finished. Oh yeah, I have finished 2 glosses. I'm gonna talk about that later. But when it comes to lip liners and when it comes to the lipstick in this year's project pen, it's still alive, people. I don't know what to tell you. The lip liners that were in my project pen were the Essence lip liner. I think it's the Soft and Precise one. And then the Catrice Plumping lip liner. And also the Essence This Is Me lipstick in the shade 03 Bold. I'm gonna show you a picture because it's somewhere in my makeup collection and I don't want to grab it, but you will be able to see that they're still alive and well and kicking, and it's gonna take me a few years to go through those. So be very mindful that when you buy lipstick products, especially and lip liners, it's gonna last you a really, really long time. Now I have come to the final 2 products that were in my original project pen, like what I started the year with, and those 2 are luckily also empty. So I'm talking about the Colourpop X Raw Beauty Christie Luxe Lip Gloss in the shade Glacier. Empty, gone, disappeared. Stuck around to using it because I was just like, this gotta be empty. This gotta be empty. It was a pearlescent one, so it was nice to put it on top of a lipstick that had pigmentation or that had a color, because then you were just kind of putting sparkle on top, and that was really nice. So it was easy to use in that sense, but when it came to the formula, it was too thick and gloopy and I didn't like it. But it's empty, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then the other one was actually one of my favorite lip glosses, but I'm happy it's empty because it's time for something new. And that is the Tower 28 Milky Lip Jelly in the shade Cashew. That one was so beautiful. It was like a jelly. It was kind of like gel balm like, but it had enough of a slip to not be too thick or sticky. It was always like an infusion of lip oils and lip balms, and I don't know. It was a beautiful formula, and I really, really liked the color as well. The thing with that product was I had to empty it pretty quickly. I noticed that the smell was getting different, so I knew I have to put this in my project pen before it's too late and I have to check it out, because I wanted to use that product up. Like, it was a beautiful product. I did not want it to go to waste. Now, you would think maybe that is the end of my final project pen update, but throughout the years, sometimes I emptied up products, as you've heard, and I wanted to replace them by something that I knew was well on its way to be empty or penned. So I did just that. First of all, I replaced my Nabla Skin Realist Tinted Balm and what was the other one? The Essence Tinted Cream with my Charlotte Tilbury's Beautiful Skin Foundation. That foundation was already being well used when I was kind of switching it up for my project pen. And it was a beautiful formula that I was able to wear on the daily. And by introducing it into my project pen, I also realized emptying it. And that was a very pleasant feeling. But obviously that one also needed replacing. And I did that, I think, around September or October. I introduced the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Skin Tint and the Rare Beauty Positive Lights Tinted Moisturizer. 2 to 3 months to finish up a product is not a lot of time. And I knew that that was not a lot of time, and I can see a lot of progress that I've made since using them and introducing them into my project pen, but they are not empty yet. These are also 2 products that I'm probably gonna take with me in next year's project pen, so this year actually, by the time that I'm filming this, just because I love using those products. I do use them on the daily. I think they are amazing, beautiful skin tints, and I want to continue using them, and I think a project pen is a good way to do so. Then I have 2 more products to talk about that I introduced into my project pen throughout the 2023 or throughout the year, and one of them is a powder that was also actually a part of my original project pen, and it is the Rare Beauty Always and Optimist setting powder. I did not start using that powder until the summertime because my skin is dry, but it does need a powder in the summer, not in spring, fall, winter, but it does need a powder in the summertime because I am sweaty and I'm gonna sweat and the makeup is gonna come off, and it's a time in my life where I do need to set my under eyes and my eyelids a little bit and a little bit around the nose as well, and the chin area. So basically like the center of my face starting from the eyes needs to be set with a little bit of powder. And the Rare Beauty powder was also in my 2022 project pen, but I did not get around to finishing it because I was only using it in the summer. This year I did finish it up and I was very happy. A beautiful powder, it does its job, but I don't think it's anything mind-blowing. Then another product and the final product that I added to my project pen was the Vive Modern Radiance Concealer. And you probably guessed so because I am not showing it to you guys, but that one is empty as well. I started to use that one in my project pen and I introduced you guys to it in my project pen because I was noticing that it was starting to dry out, so I wanted to use it up before I couldn't anymore. I would not repurchase that one because I did find it too high coverage, too high maintenance. Guys, that concludes my project pen update, my final project pen update of 2023. I am filming this in the new year in 2024 and I am looking in my makeup collection what I want to introduce in my next project pen update, because I'm gonna do one again just because I loved using those products and doing this project and filming these videos. I think the main thing that I'm gonna take away to my next project is to use products that I like, to use the majority of products that I really like and that I love using but that I want to empty out, and then a couple of products that I maybe can mix into those to enjoy them a little bit more. And I think by that I make a project pen a lot more approachable, a lot more easier to empty and pen stuff as well. I'm gonna have to count the number of empties and pens in this project pen, and I will put them on the screen right now so you can see the damage that we did in 2023. I'm quite happy about that actually. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Do let me know what you want to see in the future. I will be filming my 2024 project pen introduction very soon, and I'm hoping to see you in my next one. Bye!